Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Imperial Guard regiments, as we get into the Drookian Fenguard. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day, and of course if you have any requests, just comment down below. But with that said, let's get into 40 Facts on the Drookian Fenguard. The Drookian Fenguard are the regiments of the Imperial Guard that hail from the Imperial world of Drook 6, a harsh, bug-covered, and perpetually misty-shrouded swamp planet located in the far north of the galaxy Segmentum Obscurus. The world of Drook 6 is covered in fens and impenetrable mist. Life on this world is harsh and oftentimes deadly. The general populace governs themselves by their own laws, as there is only a token imperial presence within the handful of cities located on the planet. Every generation, a new regiment is forcibly conscripted into the Imperial Guard by means of press gangs and shipped for service across the galaxy. The planet's warring clans exist at the very edge of survival, constantly waging war in the foggy moors and fens of their harsh world, raiding and pillaging each other's ancestral territories, and looting everything that is not nailed down, so that they can carry away their ill-gotten goods on the hairy riding mounts known as Wreckhorns. The Drookians live by a martial code, and for the honor of their clan's name. They are distrustful of outsiders and utterly relentless in war. Commissars assigned to Drookian regiments soon discover that in order to control these unruly and roughish guardsmen, it is necessary to callously exploit their hatred towards foreigners. This is accomplished by helping the Drookians identify an imperial enemy as a clan enemy, and if the situation warrants it, inform them that the honor of their ancestors of their regiment has been grievously insulted. Drookian Fenguard regiments of the Imperial Guard are predominantly light infantry, although there are a number of light cavalry squadrons present amongst them, known for their scouting and infiltration abilities. Drookian Fenguard regiments are often deployed to worlds with harsh environments or noxious war zones, where their natural abilities and skills can be best put to use. The most violent and skilled warriors within the Drookian regiments are hand-selected to be used for scouting, guerrilla warfare, and infiltration and sabotage. The Fenguard regiments also utilize specially mounted cavalry units known as Rough Riders, which use the same tactics as the Drookian foot soldiers, quick and silent infiltrators, and if the situation is favorable, a deadly assault. But unlike other more disciplined and iron-will Rough Rider regiments, such as the Death Corps of Krieg's Death Riders, the Drookian Fenguard cavalry are not known for their resolve when faced with a superior enemy. Instead of standing their ground and facing their foe, the Drookians disperse their forces rather than risk the unpredictable confrontation that does not favor them coming out on top. For this reason, there have been high percentages of desertion in Drookian units in the past. Therefore, attacks against a formidable foe are never attempted unless the regiment is augmented by a substantial number of commissars to help motivate them. Drookians tend to be slow to put their faith in anyone other than themselves and their comrades, and they chafe at the expectation and strictures of more civilized imperial society. Drookians believe that above all else, one must honor their clans and its name. Any affront or slight to their clan's honor is severely punished. The Drookian Fenguard's uniform appearance is non-standard and very haphazard. The guardsmen of the Fenguard regiments wear the traditional clothes of their homeworld. These items consist of a tartan, a traditional Drookian woolen cloth woven in one of several patterns of plaid, draped across the chest or over the shoulder, and a kilt, a knee-length skirt of pleated tartan cloth, traditionally worn by men as part of the traditional Drookian dress. The Drookians primarily wear flak armor, which consists of layers of albalite and impact-absorbent material sewn directly into the uniform. The Drookian Fenguard rarely make use of unit markings lower than a company level, thus maintaining a fluid organization appropriate to their status as light infantry. In the year 448 of the 41st millennium, the 72nd Drookian took part in an imperial campaign against the secessionist forces, known as the Canis Hegemony. Their most famous engagement occurred on the world of Alien 7 during the Battle of the Traitors Maws, when the 72nd ambushed and destroyed most larger secessionist forces. This occurred during the 17th year of the Imperial campaign against the Canis Hegemony. The Imperial Navy had become entangled in a protracted engagement against the Corsairs and Dealers from Valo Opaline, leaving the Imperial Guard forces deployed on the ground in a region without vital support. Desperate to break the deadlock, the Imperial High Command was at a loss on how to best continue the campaign, until they received help from an unexpected quarter. Led by their commander, Colonel Wardhan, the 72nd Drookian Fenguard reconnaissanced the world, preparing the way for the Imperial offensive in the alien system. The failure of the Imperial fleet to destroy the Corsairs had led to the suspension of the Imperial offensive, effectively isolating the 72nd Drookian from the main body of the Imperial crusade. This forced the Fenguard to rely on their own survival skills, which unfortunately could not have come at a more inappropriate moment, as the 12th Army of the Canis Hegemony chose to move on the planet. Instead of engaging the enemy, the colonel bid his time gathering valuable intelligence on enemy force disposition before moving to attack. He devised an audacious plan to draw the entirety of the enemy force towards the planet. The Imperials proved able to draw the enemy onto the marshy zone that surrounded the low plains by the plateau, enabling the Drookians to utilize their superior abilities at such terrain, and effectively pinning the enemy forces until the reinforcement of Imperial Crusade arrived. During the Battle of the Traitors' Maws, fewer than 900 Fenguards crushed a force of more than 20,000 secessionists. The 72nd Drookian was granted a right of conquest to the continent of Alien 7 as a reward for their monumental victory. And those were 40 facts on the Drookian Fenguard. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is another example of how an Imperial Guard regiment doesn't have to be your cookie-cutter Imperial Guard regiment like you see on the tabletop so often. As a matter of fact, I feel like now with the new 8th edition, you can play more troops, and what better way to play Imperial, or what better way to make your army look amazing while you're playing it on the battlefield than to bring something other than the Acadian Guard. So the Drookian Fenguard are an excellent example of how you can customize maybe some Genestealer cults, some Cult Mechanicus, or even some, what are the other guys called? The cultists from Chaos. Convert them to look like, roughed up guardsmen who have been through some craziness. Again, I'm going to recommend you check out the Iron Fleet Instagram page. They are an amazing group that just puts out some amazing content, so please check out Iron Fleet on Instagram. They have right now a cool campaign called Thorn Moon's Campaign, and it's just fluffy goodness, basically. So also check out the Iron Fleet website. That's just ironsleet.com, I believe, or .org. It's just awesome to get inspired when you're creating your own Imperial Guard regiment. Now, if you guys have any other suggestions of other topics, this was a viewer request, comment down below and we will try our best to make a video for you. If you want to support us a little bit more, jump on over to Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos. If you can't, we understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. But with that said, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. This was Gersh1 with One Mind Syndicate, signing out.